we have now a very special guest. I think you should stay for this if you still are, willing to understand how to better monetize what you do with, advertising, online video advertising. And for this, I would like to welcome on stage the European correspondent of VentureBit, Chris O'Brien. Thank you. Welcome, Chris. Merci. Thank you, merci.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have a very LeWeb moment here, I think. You have an American living in France interviewing a Frenchman who lives in America.
That's true.
So thank you for coming back here. You're living in New York now?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So let's talk about the company first, because you guys have had an amazing story the last couple of years. But take us back to the beginning of the company. When did it start, and who was involved in starting the company?
So we started in 2007. Like many startups, we started in a cave, and with the idea to build an online video advertising platform. The starting point was really the way we looked at the video space at the time was that the majority of the video distributed online and the video ads were distributed within video content. And we felt that we could build different ways to distribute video ads out there where the user is at the center of the story, and instead of being forced like they are when they want to watch a video content, they're forced to watch an ad. We thought intention will drive better attention, and another assumption that we had at the time was that video advertising, the inventory available out there was very limited.
And let me just ask you about that. Why was it limited, and what wasn't working about video advertising?
So basically what we heard many times from clients was that it was hard to reach a given audience. We heard from clients that premium video inventory was very limited. There is studies out there that say 4% of the video content available is actually professional content. So we felt that there were a big need for additional video inventory, additional premium video inventory, and this is why we built the TEEDS platform.
Okay, so let me ask very quickly, how many of you have heard of TEEDS? Okay, because I think this will, we're going to talk about, I want you to explain to them now what the company does and how it works. And I think they'll be surprised, because I think many of them will find they've encountered this even if they haven't heard of you yet.
So TEEDS is essentially a video monetization platform for publishers. So publishers come to us and we'll help them create additional video inventory. We work with over 500 of the most premium publishers in the world. In France, Le Figaro, Les Echos. We work with Financial Times in the UK, El País in Spain. We work with Forbes, Condé Nast, the Washington Post, the Nikkei. And every day there is more publishers signing up to the platform because we help them create additional video inventory. And for many years, and many of the publishers out there don't have video inventory, right? And video being the fastest advertising format out there, they've always been wondering how they could catch more money from video, right? And they tried to create some video content, but it was very expensive. So with the invention of what we call the in-read format, which is essentially placing video ads in the heart of the editorial content of a given publisher, we've managed to change the scale. We've managed to help publishers make more money with video. And we have a short video which I would love if someone could play it now, where we're going to show you the in-read format. And it's actually a video about, it's actually our advertising campaign, launched tomorrow all around the world across the trade press. And what I suggest is once we've seen the video, I can explain to you the business model and how it works for clients.
Great. Do we have that ready to go? Okay, so now that you've seen it, how many of you have come across this on the web or on one of your mobile devices? Look at a good number of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, let me take a simple example as a user, right? As you've seen, you're reading an article. You're reading an article on the Financial Times, for example, and while you're reading the article, between two paragraphs, you'll see a video appearing, right? You love what you're reading, you're not interested by the content, you keep on reading, and the video will disappear, okay? And this is what we make sure from the start is that we don't want to force any user to be exposed to a given video. It has to be down to the user because intention will drive a better attention. I really hate the video with a passion. I can even close the video, and then the text will get together, okay? So non-intrusive, non-forced, opt-in by the user. And now let's look at the business model. So the video will play when it's viewable and when it's in view, okay? And the way we sell video advertising is only when the user have deliberately decided to watch the ad toward the end, okay? So the brand has a guarantee that the video has been watched toward the end. The brand has a guarantee that the user has deliberately decided to watch the ad because he can skip it from the first second. And last but not least, which is a buzzword and which is everyone concerned right now in our industry, we put an end to the viewability problem. Over 50% of ad impression in the world are never seen by people. Over 50% of video impression are never seen by people. And as you've probably noticed in the video will only play when it's viewable on the screen. If the video is not viewable, the video will stop. So ultimately, what we've achieved is create unprecedented level of premium video inventory in a market where only 4% of the video inventory out there account for professional content. Or showing the ads only when they're viewable, charging the client when the video has been watched toward the end, and ensuring it's 100% viewable on the screen. And with this, and this is a conference about entrepreneurs, and over the years, we didn't have from the start, a game changer in our hands, and we always wanted to build the next billion-dollar company, and in our ecosystem, we're really changing the game because we're creating additional video inventory at scale, additional premium video inventory at scale in a market where premium is completely sold out.
So let's talk about where the company is today. You, like I said at the beginning, you're based in New York. Where are the official headquarters of the company today? And tell me, as best you can, anything about growth or revenue or number of employees?
So we have 350 people around 25 offices in the world. We're a true global company. We have operation on the 5 continents. We have a operation in Seoul, in Tokyo. We have operation in all the big 5 European market. We have operation in Australia. We're opening as we speak. Russia, Brazil. We have offices across America where I moved with my family about a year and a half ago. We have now 70 people in the ground in the US. We have 30 plus in New York, 20 in Miami. We have 10 in Chicago. We have a brand new office in LA, and we're looking at doubling the team. Revenue-wise, this year we'll do close to $100 million in revenue. and with 3-digit growth numbers. So the company is really growing extremely fast. When it comes to our priorities for next year, so we're gonna keep on expanding the business internationally. We actually have we're currently working on next year business plan, and we have up to 200 people. We're gonna hire another 200 people next year, and really the goal is to make sure that there is more publishers every day adopting the platform, and we're in the middle of finalizing a new round of funding. We might also utilize that money to do some acquisition in the mobile space. As you probably seen, the format works on tablet and also works very well on phones. If you think about just maybe 1 minute about mobile, if you think about the mobile and if you look at what you guys see every day as ad formats on mobile, they're very old, right? You can have a banner at the top of your phone, or a banner at the bottom, or an interstitial. InRead really fits perfectly into the consumer behavior and right into the feed. So mobile is a big opportunity for us, and we'll be looking at doing some acquisition.
So let me again go back to the beginning of the company again, because you become a global company. But at the start, did you go into it necessarily thinking that you did have the big billion-dollar idea or billion-euro idea, and did you see it as potentially a global, game-changing kind of opportunity?
It's a really good question. The answer to that question is yes. Straight from the start, we wanted to make the company a pan-European company, because my partners and I have built pan-European companies before. So yes, from day one, we knew if you want to succeed in ad tech in Europe, you need some scale. And you're 2.5 hours away with a Eurostore from one of the largest markets in the world, the English market, and on the other side, you have Germany. So really, from the start, we had that in mind. We actually tried to open several markets in the first year, and it didn't work. So we basically pulled back and decided to do France well, and then we expanded to the UK, to Italy, to Spain, to Germany, and we did also some acquisition to speed up the expansion. Europe being a very fragmented market, it's sometimes hard to scale because every country has a different culture. And then once we were established in Europe and we had 5 solid operation making profits, with the co-founders, we sat down and said, well, maybe it's time to go to America, right? And which is obviously the biggest advertising market in the world. And then we agreed that if we would do such a thing, one of us had to go. And unfortunately, at the start, it was me, because my wife was really upset about it. But now we're very happy about it. So I moved to the US about 1.5 years ago, and we started. And maybe there is a lot of people here that have this in mind, one day potentially opening to the US, and it's far and it's scary. To be honest with you, and not just because you're American, but we were extremely well received. 15% of advertiser budget are dedicated to innovation. So if you have something new, something interesting, they'll try. Then it's going to be up to you to make sure they're happy about it and they buy again. But since we've been there, and really this has been of all the countries we've opened, the US has been the most successful so far.
Well, so let me just ask you a follow-up to something interesting you said, that you did think about global expansion at the beginning, but initially it didn't succeed, and so you came back sort of within France and refocused here for a while. So what was different the second time when you felt you were ready to go back abroad? Was the product different? Was the timing different? Or did you learn something from that first experience that made you realize, okay, now we're actually ready to expand globally?
yeah, I mean, we started a completely new company in a brand new space, and we had to learn things, and we had to tidy up the technology and ensure that clients were happy. And starting front in the UK at the beginning was extremely difficult because you come across so many challenges. So once, as you said, the product was stable, the platform was stable, the trend was there, and the team was in place because when you start a company at the beginning, you know, there are so many things that you need to do, and as soon as you build a team around yourself, then it's a lot easier to scale. So, one, the foundation of France were good, then we expanded to other European markets, and once Europe was stable, then we decided to move to the US.
And I want to ask you then what advice you have for French entrepreneurs in terms of thinking globally, because this is a conversation in the short time I've been here. This comes up all the time, which is there's a lot of encouragement even from the government down to various tech ecosystems to encourage formally and informally people to go abroad and get experience, or to be thinking very early on how to go to the US or how to learn from the Silicon Valley and things like that. What would you say about that?
Well, there's so many things. The things I've learned over the years is, if I look back at the history of the company, the first important thing is really to have the right team in place. I think being a few co-founders with different skills. You know, personally, I'm good at building businesses and being on the sales side. But I've got a co-founder who's really good at product. So I think when you want to start a company, ensuring that at the start you have all the skills you need to succeed is really important. Another thing I've learned over the years is the quality of the investors that you're going to have around the table. As long as you have the choice to choose, and you have several investors willing to invest. I think that's a really important thing. If you can bring on board people that can really help you and have a good understanding of the ecosystem and have some good connection, particularly if you're planning to go to the US. We are lucky enough to have a VC from the Silicon Valley, which is extremely active and is an ex-entrepreneur and has some great connections. So that really helped. And when it comes to the expansion, I think one of the learning that we had was exactly what I said earlier. Try to do multiple markets at the same time was extremely complicated, and we had to fire the team, and it wasn't such a fun ride. But as we all know, you learn and you remember mistakes. You don't remember the happy days. So I think those are sort of like the team, as the right investors, and do one thing after one thing is probably our take and what I would recommend.
And now that you're in the middle of raising another round of funding, I mean, do you find that you know, being a French company, so to speak, even though you're global now, clearly, does it come up? Does people raise it as an issue, or?
To be honest with you, when I moved to the US, I was like, my name is Bertrand, so it's very French, but my family name is Quesada, it's very Spanish, and I was like, maybe I don't want to present myself as a Frenchman, right? Because you know, I was wondering if it was if it was the right thing to say, and you know what? They love the French people, they love France, and it's never been an issue. No,
Yeah.
Works perfectly.
Great. Do we? I think we have time for a couple questions. I don't know if we have a mic out there, because I can't actually see. Do we have Benjamin with our mic? No. We have a question. Put your hand up. Yes. So the first question was, how did you convince clients to try new media, new advertising solution?
Sorry, Chris. Can I sit a second with you?
So
Oh, yes.
I think what we've managed to explain to the brands was that what they were doing so far was good, but they could think about different ways of distributing video ads online, and it was pretty obvious that for brands, when they wanted to run a video campaign within premium environment at scale, they had some serious limitation in terms of inventory. If you look at all the professional video content, the pre-roll inventory is completely sold out. So the only option they had to run a campaign at scale was to work with YouTube. But YouTube content is mainly user-generated content based, so the quality sometimes is not there, and brands would rather distribute video ads within really premium environment. So when they saw the in-read format and that they could really distribute, and this is really the largest premium video exchange in the world that we have created, and they could distribute in just sending us an MP4 their video ad across Forbes, the Financial Times, the Guardian, and all the big premium media in the world, and where user could decide not to watch the ad and the video will only play when it's viewable. I think it was pretty easy for them to understand. And just to talk about ROI, we work with a lot of companies such as Nielsen or Comscore, where we can actually measure the uplift in brand awareness and eventually purchase intent. So all our campaigns are backed with studies that can show the client that the performance is there. And we have a very of the 350 people that we have in the company, 100 of them are engineers. So we have a very savvy platform and backend. So when really the brand can see the level of engagement within the video.
That's great, and I think we're out of time.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.